Hi, I'm Donnie Bryson. Welcome to another edition of our treatment of the Assembly of God Sunday School lesson. Today's lesson is for June the 7th, 2026. The title of today's lesson is Laws for Work and Rest. We have a lot of text to cover today. Genesis 1:1, Genesis 1:31 through 2:15, Genesis 3:17 through 19, Exodus 20:8 through 11, Exodus 31:17 through 19, Leviticus 23:1 through 44, and Deuteronomy 5:12 through 15. The topic for today's lesson is a balance between work and worship. We'll be looking at that balance under the law as an example. They had a weekly designated day and other designated worship times. We should also have designated times in our lives to worship God. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God created the universe out of nothing. Genesis 1:31 through 2:15. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he had rested from all the work of creating that he had done. This is the account of the heavens and the earth. When they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. Now, no shrub had yet appeared in the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up. For the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from the Eden, and there it was separated into four headwaters. The name of the first is Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, and there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aramaic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Asher. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. Now, friends, God didn't rest because he was tired, but he rested because the work was completed. God doesn't get tired. Genesis 3:17 through 19. To Adam he said, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree which I have commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants in the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and dust you will return. The curse was not that we had to work. Working is a blessing. The curse was that we would have undue difficulty when we did work. Exodus 20:8 through 11. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But on the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or your daughter, nor your male or your female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. God reminds everyone that the Sabbath is not a party day. It's a day for the folks to think on godly things. Exodus 31:12 through 17. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, you must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so that you may know that I am the Lord who makes you holy. Observe the Sabbath because it is holy to you, and anyone who desecrates it is to be put to death. Those who do any work on that day must be cut off from their people. For 6 days work is to be done, but on the seventh day is a day of Sabbath rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day is to be put to death. The Israelites are to observe the Sabbath, celebrating it for the generations to come as a lasting covenant. It will be a sign between me and the Israelites forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. There were serious consequences for folks that desecrated the Sabbath in ancient Israel. Leviticus 23, 1 and 2. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, these are my appointed festivals, the appointed festivals of the Lord, which are to proclaim as sacred assemblies. We're going to spend a good bit of time now reviewing the ancient festivals in Israel dictated by the law. It's important to remember that these were not dictated under grace, but were just valid as the weekly Sabbath under the law of Moses. So if the church must adhere to the law of the weekly Sabbath, then we would have to adhere also to these festival days. Leviticus 23 and 3. There are 6 days that you may work, but the seventh day is a day of Sabbath rest, a day of sacred assembly. You're not to do any work. Wherever you live, it is a Sabbath to the Lord. Now the Sabbath was mandated by the law. Leviticus 23, 4 through 8. These are the Lord's appointed festivals, a sacred assembly you are to proclaim at their appointed times. The Lord's Passover begins at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. On the 15th day of that month, the Lord's festival of unleavened bread begins. For 7 days you must eat bread made without yeast. On the first day, hold a sacred assembly and do no regular work. For 7 days, present a food offering to the Lord, and on the seventh day, hold a sacred assembly and do no regular work. Here we are with the Passover, which commemorates the delivery out of the bondage of Egypt. Next, the festival of unleavened bread, which lasts for 7 days. The first and last day of the festival is like a Sabbath because no work can be performed in those days. Leviticus 23, 9 through 14. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land I am going to give you, and you reap its harvest, bring to the priest a sheaf of the first grain you harvest. He is to wave the sheaf before the Lord, so it will be accepted on your behalf. The priest is to wave it on the day after the Sabbath. On the day you wave the sheaf, you must sacrifice as a burnt offering to the Lord a lamb a year old without defect. together with its grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour mixed with olive oil, a food offering presented to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, and its drink offering of a quarter of hin of wine. You must not eat any bread or roasted or new grain until the very day you bring this offering to your God. It is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come wherever you live. This documents the offering that is made for the first harvest. Leviticus 23:15 through 22. From the day after the Sabbath, the day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, count off 7 full weeks. Count off 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath, and then present an offering of new grain to the Lord. From wherever you live, bring 2 loaves made of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour, baked with yeast, as a wave offering of first fruits to the Lord. Present with this bread 7 male lambs, each a year old and without defect, 1 young bull and 2 rams. They will be a burnt offering to the Lord together with their grain offerings and drink offerings, a food offering of aromas pleasing to the Lord. Then sacrifice 1 male goat for a sin offering and 2 lambs, each a year old, for a fellowship offering. The priest is to wave the 2 lambs before the Lord as a wave offering, together with the bread of the first fruits. They are a sacred offering to the Lord for the priest. On that same day you are to proclaim a sacred assembly and do no regular work. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come, wherever you live. When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of your field, or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner residing among you. I am the Lord your God. This celebration is called Pentecost in the New Testament. Leviticus 23:23 through 25. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, on the first day of the 7th month you are to have a day of Sabbath rest, a sacred assembly commemorated with trumpet blast. Do no regular work, but present a food offering to the Lord. This is an additional day of rest and meditation. Leviticus 23:26 through 32. The Lord said to Moses, the 10th day of this 7th month of the day of the atonement, hold a sacred assembly and deny yourselves, and present a food offering to the Lord. Do not do any work on that day, because it is the day of atonement, when atonement is made for you before the Lord your God. Those who do not deny themselves on that day must be cut off from their people. I will destroy from among their people anyone who does any work on that day. You shall do no work at all. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come, wherever you live. It is a day of Sabbath rest for you. You must deny yourself. From the beginning of the 9th day of the month until the following evening, you are to observe your Sabbath. This is the most sacred festivity. It is the festival referred to as Yom Kippur. Leviticus 23:33 through 44. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, on the 15th day of the 7th month, the Lord's festival of tabernacles begins. It lasts for 7 days. The first day is a sacred assembly. Do no regular work. For 7 days present food offerings to the Lord, and on the 8th day hold a sacred assembly and present a food offering to the Lord. It is the closing special assembly. Do no regular work. These are the Lord's appointed festivals, which you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies for bringing food offerings to the Lord. The burnt offerings and grain offerings, the sacrifices and drink offerings required for each day. These offerings are in addition to those for the Lord's Sabbath, in addition to your gifts, whatever you have vowed, and all the freewill offerings you give to the Lord. So beginning with the 15th day of the 7th month, after you have gather the crops of the land, celebrate the festival of the Lord for 7 days. The first day is a day of Sabbath rest, and the 8th day also is a day of Sabbath rest. On the first day you are to take branches with luxuriant trees, from palms, willows, and leafy trees, and rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. Celebrate this as a festival to the Lord for 7 days each year. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. Celebrate in the 7th month. Live in a temporary shelters for 7 days. All native Israelites are to live in such shelters. So your descendants will know that I had the Israelites live in temporary shelters when I brought them out of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses announced to the Israelites the appointed festivals of the Lord. Now this was another celebration that lasted a week. Deuteronomy 5:12 through 15. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son or your daughter, nor your male or your female servant, nor your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns, so that your male and female servants may rest as you do. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day. They were encouraged to remember God brought them out of Egypt. One major concluding thought. It's interesting to study about the festivities. It's important that we realize that these festivities were designed to give the folks the opportunity to contemplate the things of God. We should designate times in our lives to contemplate the blessings of God. It's also important to understand that the cross fulfilled the law. We're not under the law. We've taken review of some of the many festivities of the Jewish people. These holidays and Sabbaths are beautiful, and under grace, we're not obligated to celebrate them. However, we should set aside time in our own lives to contemplate the things of God. Well, friends, good Lord willing, I'll be back with you next weekend.